On our morning show today, we have Phil Wallace from Galaxie Skate Center here to talk about some upcoming events here in December, but in particular, a particular fundraiser coming up here on Saturday. Good to see you again, Phil.
Thanks for having me on.
No problem. So you guys do this every year. Tell us about the Santa Skate with Elsa.
Well, this year here we've added Elsa, and we have a fabulous person doing Elsa for us, who is actually going to be singing some of the songs from Frozen as well. And then Santa, of course, is going to be there visiting with the kids from 2 until 5 on Saturday. That's December 13th, of course, so it's coming right up. 2 until 5 in the afternoon. And we are not taking any passes or coupons or annual passes or anything that day because we want all the admissions to go to charity that day. So that is a charity special event fundraiser. The charity donations that we've donated to in the past, we've donated to United Givers, Walk for Grace. We've donated nearly $900 one year to the K-9 units when Jim Bindle was sheriff and whatnot. So we're looking at a couple of different places to give some money to this year, and one of them is also the food pantry. We'd like to do something like that too. So, people that have any food donations or anything that they'd like to bring in that day, we would take those gladly, for the food pantry. Of course, we still want you to pay, the regular admission price and whatnot too, so we can donate all that to various charities around town too. So Walk for Grace and United Givers are our two biggest ones that we like to help out. So
and it's a good time of year. United Givers, I know they're coming right down to the wire for their fundraising, so it's good timely donation.
Yep, I was talking to Jenny not long ago, and I believe United Givers is looking for in the neighborhood of $53,000 this year. I think that's their goal or whatever that they were looking for, and I'm not sure how close they are yet, but we'd like to contribute a little bit to them. And Walk for Grace does such wonderful work with cancer people in the area, so we'd like to give a little money to them too. So
can someone show up on Saturday and not skate?
Oh yeah, you can come in and pay the $8 admission, and we'll gladly donate any of that, to our various charities that we're looking to hopefully help out this season.
Because you get Santa, you get Elsa, you get some games, some food maybe. And
oh yeah, there's all kinds of food in the kitchen, of course. And Santa, he is going to be there visiting with the kids, and you're welcome to take pictures with them. It's a lot of fun, and I hope we get a lot of people turning out, even if you just come in for an hour or whatever. But come on in and have something to eat. The kitchen's going to be open, of course, obviously. We would like to encourage people to, eat and be jolly and all that kind of stuff, So we've got a few new items on our menu and whatnot this year. I don't know if anybody's been up there lately, but we have cod fish bites now, which are fast becoming very, very popular. We do fish dinners, of course, our homemade pizzas that we do, and we've ordered materials for a new topping on those too. So now our toppings for our pizza, you can do pepperoni, sausage, hamburger, bacon, real bacon, mushrooms, onions, green olives, black olives, of course, extra cheese. It is Wisconsin, right?
It is good. How many, do you have people come in just for the food and carry out? Can you do that?
We do have takeout orders occasionally. We'll have somebody call up on the 649-4515 line, which is the kitchen line, and they'll order a pizza to take out or fish dinner to take out. My dad's a good one. I mean, he's 84 years old. He doesn't skate anymore, but boy, he likes the cod fish bites and the waffle fries that we have up there now. So he always calls up, sometimes every couple of weeks and orders a takeout order. So
does he get an employee discount or not?
Maybe a little bit.
A little bit. Well, I know you've been busy not only at the rink, Phil, but tell me about the in-school skate program.
Well, this week and next week we are in Hillsboro, elementary school up there. We're doing skate lessons for them for the 2nd through 5th grade classes. We have a couple of schools coming up in January and February. North Crawford's coming up in March. Weston, Waniwak is on board this year again. So there's a lot of schools that are getting in on our in-school skating program. North Crawford is doing something a little bit different, and I highly encourage maybe if you're a school and you want to get in on a skating program, but you don't have the time commitment to commit to a full 5 classes or 2 weeks worth of skating or whatnot, then we have an in-rink skating program. So what North Crawford and I have collaborated on is they bring their kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade on day 1, and then 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade on day 2. And what they do is they get about a 5-hour gym class all in one day. So we have them bring in a sack lunch, and we'll have them get there at about 9 o'clock, and then for the first couple of hours, we'll talk about all the basics of how to get up, how to sit down, how to go forward, how to balance, and all that kind of stuff. And we'll get them going and get them, going on their skates a little bit. Now, of course, 2 hours seems like a long time for somebody who is in kindergarten or 1st grade, but the thing is, it really it helps progress them farther, faster, if they have more kids practicing for a little bit longer time. Then we'll have them sit down at about 11 o'clock, and we take everybody's skates off, and we get down, sit down, and have basically their school lunch at the rink. And then after lunch, of course, we go back out on the floor and put our skates back on, and then we work on a little bit more of the skill set, and the kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, if we can get them going all the way around the floor, several times without falling down, boom, that's a plus. Mm-hmm. So then the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade will come on day 2. So like I said, North Crawford does this on a Thursday and on a Friday. And I charge them a little bit less to do that than me going to the school every day, which is working out better for their budget. Plus, their kids get an extended 5-hour gym class field trip kind of thing. So, it's really remarkable. We've done that 2 years in a row with them now, how fast these kids pick that up. And how well they do by, you take a little video at the beginning of the day and then take a little video at the end of the day, and compare the two like a side-by-side comparison, and it's almost night and day.
Yeah. Well, it's gaining confidence. That's the big thing, right?
Yes. Once you boost their confidence, then their abilities increase. Once you got their balance going, the self-confidence, like you said, really works in there. And what that makes them feel like, not only just in skating, but then they feel like, I can do this. So then they go back to the school and they carry that I can do this attitude into other things. And next thing you know, they're improving their grades and a whole bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. I want to know who sleeps better that night, though, you or the kids, because the kids are probably ready for a nap,
a little
too.
Both.
Work off all that great energy.
I know a lot of teachers, that have classrooms, with sometimes 15 or 20 kids in a class. But I'm teaching a 5-hour class with, say, 90 to 95 kids in one class. So, yes, mentally it is kind of exhausting. I will give you that. I usually have a couple of my employees come up, and then, of course, we encourage the teachers to come on up and help out the ones who need it, and so on and so forth. But it's all a big boost of confidence. And once you get that going, and then they get this I can do this attitude, then that carries over to a lot of other stuff. So that's one of the reasons why I love this skating program. And so many teachers over the years have had remarkable results. Mr. Monty, when he was at Ithaca, now he's at River Valley. Mr. G, Gary Gutnick, I had to sell him on this program at first, way back in 2006, and he was like, I don't know. I'm like, well, I tell you what, if you don't like the results, then we won't come back and bother you anymore. And by the end of the 2 weeks, he was like, oh, we got to do this again.
Yeah. Well, and it's building life skills. It's something that you can use later in life. You have people that skate well into their 80s, don't you?
Yeah, we do have one guy that comes up there usually every Friday. He only skates for about a half an hour or so. And he comes in and he skates during the time where I'm turning things on and getting things ready for the day and all that kind of stuff. He doesn't want to bump into the little kids or anything like that, but he is 83 years old.
Good for him.
And the man has remarkable balance and agility even at his age. And, it's one of those things, if you keep doing it, that's the thing. Now, if you haven't skated for, let's say, 20 or 30 years and you want to get back into it, there's a way to do it. Start slow, go slow, and work on the balance and the agility and work on getting the muscles built back up, because your mind will remember how to do it. Your muscles have forgotten.
Mm-hmm. You'll remember your muscles the next day, probably at first, but it's good to kind of get back in the swing of things.
And then get into that routine and maybe come back, once a week, or even if it's like, say, a Thursday night when we do our throwback Thursday nights. It's only from 5 until 8 p.m. and it's a slower session. It's designed more for adults, although there are a few kids that like the 70s and 80s music, so they like to hang out there too. But it's just like I said, start out slow and get the muscle memory back, get your legs working and your balance working again. And I'll tell you, even people that have recovered from hip surgery and whatnot, your muscles are only as, let's back up for a second. Your bones are only as strong as the muscles that are around them. So if you keep exercising the muscles and you keep exercising the joints and everything like that, you're probably less apt to have a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm. Well said.
Well, what about you know that.
Yeah. I haven't skated yet, but maybe that's on the agenda. We'll see. New Year's resolutions are
there you go.
Coming up. What about the Christmas schedule for Galaxie Skate Center?
Well, this year here, the Christmas schedule, we're doing a couple of things. Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, of course, Wednesday and Thursday will be closed those 2 days. Friday, the 26th of December, we're going to open up in the morning at 10 a.m. and we're going to there's been several kids have been bugging me about this, and they want to do it again. Hoverboards. So we're going to do a hoverboards only session. So no skating on December 26th from 10 a.m. to 1. Is just going to be hoverboards. So if you got a hoverboard, make sure it's fully charged up Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and bring it in there day after Christmas in the morning, 10 a.m. until 1. Of course, that's over to lunch hour and whatnot. So make sure you come in a little hungry too. You can have the pizza, and maybe mom and dad can sit in there and watch the kids spin around on their hoverboards. And we got a pretty good sized floor. So
have those improved? Because all I can see is Michael J. Fox in Back to the Future. But
well, these actually have wheels. They don't
I know
float
they have wheels, but they have improved, I think, because they've been out for a few years.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, there's kids that do enjoy them. I don't know how many actually have them or whatever, because I don't typically allow them in there, just because it's hard to control skaters and hoverboards and all kinds of things darting in and out at the same time. So we kind of mostly just do skating, but on this session here is a little treat for them for Christmas. Do a hoverboard only. That's the Friday the 26th, 10 a.m. until 1. And then we're going to have open skate the rest of that day and on Saturday from 2 until 9. So you have 7 hours of fun. We encourage families to get together, come on out, have a little bit of something to eat, enjoy the festivities, and enjoy roller skating together as a family. My whole thing is, in running this, is I want moms and dads and grandmas and grandpas, to come out and do things with the kids. And there's not a lot of things that moms and dads and grandparents and kids can all do at the same time together, and roller skating is one of them.
Some photo ops, some movie ops too, on your phone. You can make some memories.
Make sure you do hashtag Galaxie Skate Center, so you tag us in it, and then people can look it up and see that.
Good plug there.
Yeah.
Yes. What is K-pop skate. You've got that later.
K-pop. If anybody out there has been on Netflix and they have kids in the tweeny bopper age between, like, say, 8 and 13, they're going to know what K-pop is. It is a very, very popular show on Netflix right now.
I know about that. I don't know about how you work it into skating, though.
Well, here it is. K-pop is Korean pop music. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've acquired a whole list of Korean teen pop music. And it's very skatable, very danceable, very upbeat, energetic stuff. It's kind of like the boy bands of the 90s.
Sure.
You know, where you got 5 or 6 teens that are all up there not necessarily skating, but dancing around and very upbeat tempo music and stuff like that. So very colorful. So if you're aware of the K-pop Demon Hunters, TV show or movie or whatever they call that on Netflix, we're going to do that. We're going to have a K-pop Demon Hunters backdrop, so you can come dressed up as your favorite K-pop character and take a photo op, with your the K-pop Demon Hunters, Huntrix, and all those, and then skate around to all the K-pop music. And I have about 3 or 4 hours worth, so it'll be none of what you'd normally hear on American Top 40 radio or anything like that. This is all Korean pop music, and some of it is sung in Korean, so you're not going to know the words. Although I have translated a lot of it because some of it was suggestive, and I've edited that stuff out. So this is all going to be stuff that your young teens will be able to listen to and is appropriate. So
wonderful. That's coming up on December 28th. That's a Sunday. Yep. And then we aren't too far from the start of the new year, 2026. I know you usually have some sort of a blowout coming up at Galaxie when you celebrate a new year. What are you doing this year?
Well, this year here, we're going to do similar to what we've done in the past. We're doing a Noon Year's Eve.
Oh.
Okay, instead of a New Year's Eve, we call it Noon Year's Eve. And basically, it's an afternoon skate that we're going to do from 1 until 5 in the afternoon on Wednesday, the 31st. We're going to only charge $5 per person. It's going to include skate rental. So this is going to be considered a special event, of course. So passes and discounts and coupons will not apply. But it is something that moms and dads and families can do with their kids, and kind of celebrate a little bit of New Year's. And we are going to have something similar to what we did last year. We do a ping pong fling, where basically we're going to have the word winner on a bunch of ping pong balls, and all the ping pong balls are neon colored, so they glow in the black lights. We turn all the lights out, and we do a countdown into the new year, of course, and then we fling about 300 ping pong balls all over the floor. And kids go diving for the ping pong balls, trying to find the one that says winner. And the winners are going to get a really fabulous prize, a 10-pack of passes to come back skating again. So it's $100, $120 worth of skating that they're going to win. So,
yeah. That reminds me of Captain Kangaroo. Remember Mr. Moose used to drop ping pong balls on his head all the time? Yeah. So
I think I forgot about that. It was quite a few moons ago.
Oh, yeah, that's quite a few moons ago. But that sounds like fun. That's coming up on New Year's Eve, Noon Year's Eve.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we will be open on New Year's Day, which is a Thursday. We're going to do the normal Thursday. Throwback Thursday is 5 until 8 p.m. And, like I said, that Thursday and other Thursdays, we all feature, music from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Sometimes we highlight a year. Once in a while, like not long ago, I highlighted music from 1985. Hey, let's go back 40 years and remember the skating and all the tunes in the top 100 from 1985. And so I don't know what kind of special I'm going to do for the New Year's Day one, but we'll highlight a year or do something, and maybe it'll be 1986. I don't know.
Well, the year goes by pretty fast. This has been a good year at the Skate Center?
Yeah, it has. It hasn't been the best year in the world, but it's been consistent and it's good. I was able to take a few weeks off in June and kind of step away from it a little bit and kind of refresh my own batteries for a little while. Last year, we did a lot of remodeling and whatnot in June and refinished the floor and refinished the bathrooms and a lot of stuff. This year, I didn't have any big major projects, so I took a little time off for myself, which I thought was warranted. I mean, kind of nice to get away once in a while. But this year coming up, like I said, we've got 5 or 6 schools already booked in there. So if you're a teacher listening, or a school, or a parent that goes to a school and say, hey, I really would like to have a skating class in my school or whatever, well, approach the school and have them contact me. I do still have some time left in the schedule and whatnot, so we can get them in there, whether an in-school skating session or an in-rink skate session. There's 2 different ones that you can do. So the in-rink one would be consist of 2 or 3 grades in a group, which like I was talking about earlier, where you do one day with kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade or whatever, and then 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade the next day. We can divide them into 2 days. I think I have enough skates now that we could probably do the whole entire school, but the only problem with that is then you got 160, 180 kids in there all at once, and it gets a little bit on the crowded side.
Wow.
So
you have that many skates?
I do.
That's crazy.
Well, I've just acquired another 116 pairs from a rink down in Crystal Lake, Illinois, the other day, or last week, actually. So I have those specifically for the in-school sessions, and then of course I have 380 some pairs of skates up there at the rink already too. So, and all of our skates are less than 10 years old. They're well maintained, and they're fairly new, and as they age out we replace them, and just keep rotating and to make sure that we have new skate rentals. I mean, one of the things that I've always insisted on is, I look at things from my point of view. If I went to a rink, how would I want it to be? And so that's kind of how I run mine. So my skate inventory is always new and updated. The wheels are clean, and stuff is well put together. So the last thing you want to do is come to a rink that has dirty wheels and all kinds of crap, and and stuff's broken and shoelaces are busted, and nobody wants that. So you try your best to make sure that everything is as good and well maintained as possible. And it's good because that way you don't have any injuries.
And if somebody is really getting into skating and they want to have their own, can they order them for you? That might be a Christmas idea too, right?
Oh, most definitely. Now, getting into that, I don't want to take away from other big box stores like Walmart or like Amazon or whatever, but moms and dads, if you buy skates off of places like those, please be aware that those are really cheap stuff with very cheap bearings. And I'll give you an example. I had a little girl get a pair of skates for Christmas last year, and she came in. They lasted about 3 hours because she was a pretty decent skater. And of course, the skates looked nice, and all that kind of stuff, but there was no action in the skates. If anybody knows what the truck action is for the axles and whatnot, there was no truck action there, and the bearings were probably about as cheaply made as you can possibly get. They had the light up wheels, which really looked cool, but like I said, they fell apart within about 3 or 4 hours of skating. The bearings were already starting to come apart and everything else, and the mom brung them up there and she goes, well, how much does it cost to get new bearings in there? And I'm like, well, bottom of the line bearings that I would sell, maybe an ABEC 1 or 3, somewhere in there, which is, not the greatest in the world, but they're better than what you get in some of those. They're going to run you $40, $50 for a set of 16. You need 2 in each wheel. And she goes, oh man, I paid less than that for these skates. I say, well, remember the old adage, you get what you pay for?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's kind of the way it is. So the other thing that amazes me is people will come into the rink, well, I didn't know I could buy skates from you. Well, what do you think I am? I'm a roller rink. What do you think I'm going to sell? I usually keep at least 4 or 5 pairs in inventory. I have an amazing catalog, and I have an amazing system with a supplier in Lenexa, Kansas, right outside of Kansas City, and I can get skates within 2 to 3 days. And they have a very nice catalog, which I have there at the rink. And I will sit there and help you figure out which skates are the best for you with your skating style. See, now, not everybody has the same skating style. Some people are going to need the old style wheels and heels, they actually keep them standing up. And then other kids, they want to do jam skating or speed skating, and they want something or need something with a lower heel that gets them in more of a squatted, kneeling position as they're going around the floor. There's a lot of different styles of skating, and so there's different styles of skates. Not every skate fits every style.
Do you have any with a key? You need a key for your
Melody,
for your shoes?
Right?
Yeah.
I won't sing the song, but no, they don't have those anymore. Although they do, some of them will come with little wrenches, which are basically either Allen wrenches or little nut wrenches for the lug nuts on the wheels or something like that. But most common wrenches and whatnot will fit on most skates anymore. But we don't have any that clamp on the old wheel. Clamp on the shoes anymore. I do still have my old skates, though. They are up there. And if anybody ever asks me, hey, I want to see your old skates from the early 70s that you started with, they're old steel wheel sidewalk skates that used to clamp on my tennis shoes back in the day, and that's what I learned on.
They're not legal on the floor out there anymore. No.
I don't think I would skate with them anywhere. They're just kind of in the display box for looking purposes only.
Sure, historical. Speaking of which, I had Alan Umbehan in here a couple of weeks ago, and he's a historian, and we were going over all the businesses in downtown Richland Center through the years. But there have been other rinks going way back. There was a rink or two right in downtown Richland Center, wasn't
Yes, there was a rink during the 60s where Health and Human Services building is now. There was a smaller roller rink there, and of course I believe that went out of business in, I want to say, like 1970, 71, maybe somewhere in there, which gave Hank and Judy and Rudy Lau the idea of getting together and building their own rink, which they did in 1972. They had the foresight of seeing that, Richland Center still needs to have a roller rink. And, during the 50s and 60s, there was a lot of places all over the place that had roller skating rinks. If you go down Highway 14, an arena. You remember that building? It's kind of like a trash and treasure building now or whatever, or a storage facility. It has a kind of a domed roof on it there on the north side of the highway. That used to be the arena roller rink.
Okay.
So arena, small little towns like that, like Arena, and they'd fill the rink every Saturday night. Rock Springs is another one. I mean, they just tore the building down here a couple of years ago, and they used it to build a park shelter right next to where the building was. So if you're over there on 154, you notice where, or if you're from Rock Springs, you'll know what I'm talking about. But Viroqua had the community building that they did skating in back in the 50s and 60s and maybe early 70s. They did some roller skating there. A lot of these small towns had little rinks. They weren't really big, but some of them were community centers, and they just open it up on a Friday or a Saturday or something like that. And roller skating was a huge thing, and it has been, and it's been a Richland Center tradition for a lot of years, all the way back. My dad was telling me about when he was in high school in the 50s, they used to bring in a portable floor that they would click together down there in Crosscut Park, and then they'd put the big circus tent over it and had the wooden snow fence around the outside, and they would put an organ player in there or something like that or whatever, and they would do roller skating in Crosscut Park down there in the 50s. So
I've heard about that before, too.
Yeah.
How many are left in the state of Wisconsin then, Phil? Any ideas?
We were just talking about this the other day, not too long ago. When I purchased the rink in 2003, there was 27 rinks in Wisconsin, including this one. And I think as of this day, I believe there's 13 now, including mine. Now, there are none left, really, so to speak, in southwest Wisconsin. There is still one up there in Oakdale, up by Toma. There is still one in La Crosse. But as far as southwest Wisconsin, those are the only two, other than mine, that I know of that are left. Somebody said there was one that's still running down in Fenimore. It's a very small place, and I think it only runs occasionally on a Friday or a Saturday. But I have no idea. I've never met the person. I really don't know what they're doing. But I've had people come up there from going there, and they walk into mine and go, "Oh my gosh, this is so huge."
Yeah, it is.
So it must be a pretty small one. I don't know.
Well, we've talked about on this program, Richland Center's unique businesses that we need to be proud of. And I thought about, Tony Johnson talks about the few drive-in theaters there are. So
Yep.
I'm wondering what are fewer, if there are fewer rinks, or, they got to be pretty close to about the same number.
Well, I would imagine, back a few years ago when I talked to Bill Muth about, drive-ins and whatnot, he said there was less than a dozen left in the state of Wisconsin. Some of them were multiple screens. I think there's one in the Dells that has two screens. You either park facing this way or park facing the other way. And you can't flip between the movies or whatever. I think there's a divider between them. I don't know. I've never been there. But and then, of course, they got this one here in town, which is a single screen. And they seem to be doing pretty good. They draw a lot of out-of-towners in, just like I do. So for us here in Richland Center to have a roller rink and a drive-in theater,
bowling alley,
and a bowling alley, all in the same town, that's pretty remarkable. And, it should be highlighted more.
Yes.
I really do believe it should be highlighted more.
Absolutely.
So, Richland Center has unique landscapes and all that kind of stuff for the driftless area. We got a lot of different other things that bring people here. Some of the back roads. I belong on a driftless area motorcycle riders Facebook page, and so I've gotten into a lot of riding the back roads, and of course I've put my 2 cents in, knowing the county as well as I do. Hey, come over this way and I'll take you on a little tour. And all the summer I would put on rides, like on Monday or Tuesdays on my days off, and I'd go tooling around, and we'd do a 200-mile journey through Richland County and other surrounding counties and some of the other driftless areas, and people actually were turning out from. We had people coming all the way up here from Indiana and Illinois just to ride their motorcycles around for a day. Wow. Just to tour around the area and see the driftless area. It's very unique. We're blessed with quite a wonderful area, to be honest with you.
So, we take it for granted, unfortunately, sometimes when we live here.
We do. Yeah,
absolutely.
We do.
Well, good. We hope a lot of people will come out for the many events going on at Galaxie Skate Center, and including the Santa Skate. Maybe you can give one last plug for that, Phil.
Yes, please come out to the Santa Skate Saturday, December 13th. It's coming right up. It's going to be from 2 until 5 in the afternoon. Donations, all the admissions that we take in that day are all going to charity. So none of the admissions that we take at the door are going to stay with us. So we highly encourage, bring cash, so we can divvy this stuff up and get it out to the various organizations like United Givers and Walk for Grace and whatnot, so they can get it to them right away. And Elsa is going to be there. She's going to be skating with the kids.
Wow.
And she's going to be singing.
No ice skates, though. She's got
ice skates. She's going to do it on roller skates.
Okay.
Let's hope the weather holds out,
Yes.
And if anybody has any questions about anything that we do, you can always get a hold of us on our Facebook page, Galaxie Skate Center, Galaxie. I always encourage to make sure everybody spells that correctly, because there is another Galaxie Skate Center in South Georgia down there that, so if you spell it with a Y and you look it up online, it's going to be the wrong one.
Wrong directions.
Get a hold of me on Facebook Messenger. When you message us, you're actually talking to me personally. I don't have AI robots or anything answering any questions. There is one that pops up when you first message us that will give you basic information, an introductory. It's like, here's our hours, here are the days of operation and stuff like that. But if you have questions, I'm the one that's going to be answering for you. And, of course, you can always call our phone number, 608-647-4515. You can visit our webpage, galaxieskatecenter.com. And, so we're out there and we're available. And, we want skating to flourish and continue in the Richland Center and Richland County and surrounding areas for as long as we possibly can make it happen. So
thanks for coming in today, Phil.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you.
Phil Wallace from Galaxie Skate Center joining us on this update from the morning show.